Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video, and today we are doing a Bears franchise, my first of Madden 22. I figured with the firing of Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, I figured, screw it, perfect time to do a franchise, right? There's serious consideration of the Bears moving to Arlington Heights, so I figured we could do a team relocation technically. In the game, we're just going to rebuild the stadium because you can't relocate Chicago Bears to Chicago. So we're just going to do a team rebuild. Already got that set up. Now, I do want to talk about the head coach and the GM positions that are now open in Chicago. From what I've heard, all the assistant coaches and coordinators have also been technically relieved of duty until they hire a head coach and they can technically re-interview for their jobs. Now, here's who I technically want a head coach. I have four guys technically in this order. I think Brian Daboll is probably the best option for us. He helped develop Josh Allen. That offense has been top 5 the last 2 years. They look like a good team. Josh Allen was considered a bust, I think, 3 years ago. So, that's my number one option. Brian Flores is number 2. Now, granted, we would have to look for a good offensive coordinator, so we will have to go talk to other teams and their assistant coaches. Quarterbacks, running backs coach, wide receivers coaches from other teams. Or if Brian Daboll has somebody that he wants to bring, or if Brian Flores has somebody who he wants to bring, then maybe we can consider that as well. Third on the list is Kellen Moore. Now, Kellen Moore, very talented, looks like a good play caller. My biggest worry with him is we don't have the talent right now that the Cowboys have. So will that be a problem with him? Will the cold weather be a problem with his offense? We are in Chicago. There is a reason why in December in Chicago wins more games in Chicago when it's in December, when it's colder. Because that cold coming off the lake and into that stadium fucks with other teams. So, especially Southern and Western teams. Then I want Brian Leftwich, but he's already linked to probably being the Jaguars head coach just for the fact that he was a former player. But he would still be a good option. I don't know if I want any of the D coordinators like Todd Boyles, Leslie Frazier, Dan Quinn, and the Colts defensive coordinator. I think all have interviews with us. I don't think I want them. I really don't think I do. So, yeah, in that order. Now, if Brian Daboll comes in, I hope he extends an open invitation to Vic Fangio to come in and recoach the defense. I know I've said a couple weeks ago, hey, if the Bears want to sell off a bunch of their pieces, it's probably the right time to do so in this offseason. But if Vic Fangio would come back, if we brought in Brian Daboll as head coach, and if Vic Fangio came into like a Vance Joseph role where, Brian Daboll says, hey, take care of the defense, do what you need to do. I'm going to go take care of the offense. Let's do this shit together, and we can win games. I would be totally fine with that. But it has to work. That's the thing. The offense has to work. I think most of the veterans on the defense are about like fucking 3. They're very, very close to just saying, fuck this, I'm going to fake an injury and write out the rest of my contract. So that's who I prefer. And then I know we have a bunch of interviews set up with people from different teams for, the GM position. I personally am preferring the 2 Colts guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Morocco Brown, the Colts director of college scouting. They've had some pretty good drafts. They haven't had, super duper drafts, but they have had good ones. And then the other one is Ed Dodds, the Colts assistant GM. I like Chris Ballard. I think Chris Ballard's done a great job. He hasn't done like an excellent job, but he's done a great job. So either one of those guys I would personally prefer. I've seen the Saints assistant GM, somebody from the Browns. The Bills assistant GM. Now, if we get Brian Daboll, and if they also want to bring in the Bills assistant GM, makes a lot of sense. They know each other. They know what their needs are going to be. There's not going to be any communication issues. And one of the reports coming out about Brian Flores now is that he had communication issues and stuff with the management, the front office. So, it's going to be weird. I know we should probably fill the GM spot first. Then he can pick a head coach. I would personally prefer the owners getting involved and saying, hey, we're going to pick the head coach. Then we'll pick the GM. Then we'll figure this thing out, We'll pick the GM, and they need to figure out how to assess the team with the head coach that's already in place. I prefer Brian Daboll's extend an open invitation to Vic Fangio. I don't think Vic is going to get a head coach position. I think there's too many good coordinators right now for him to go get a position. Because the positions open are technically the Raiders, the Jags, are the Texans, the Giants, right? Raiders, Texans, Jags, Bears, Giants, Vikings. I think there's like one other that I might be missing, but for the most part, those are the openings. I don't think Vic Fangio gets a head coaching job this year. So maybe he comes back to Chicago for a year or two, shows everybody, hey, I can still coach a defense. I just need a good offensive coordinator to help me out when I do become a head coach again. So with this franchise, we're technically relocating to Arlington Heights. We're still going to be called the Chicago Bears, though, just like San Fran is called San Fran still. Not going to play the first season. Not going to upgrade anybody. Not going to sign, trade, or re-sign anybody through the first season. Once in the offseason, I will release Matt Nagy and the two assistants. I don't have to go sign Brian Daboll. He's technically not even in the game, but we will pretend it is him for the most part. I'll sign whoever I want, and then, we'll go from there. We'll start the 2021 season. I'll be able to do free agency, re-signs, retirements, and the draft. So, that being said, guys, let's get underway. Of course, like I said, no trades, no re-signing through the first season. Not going to play the first season. I will go ahead and go through and pick the stadium, and then we'll go to the offseason. Something I am going to say right now, though, if a development trait upgrade thing does come into play, like during one of the weeks that I'm simming, and if it's like, hey, this player has a, game whatever it's called, a development trait challenge, I'm not going to jump in, but if they do get it, but I will go into it so that they can get it if they do play well in that game. Okay, at the offseason, technically, I decided to fire my coaches as soon as the playoffs started. So, we are going to take Brian Flores here as head coach. We are then going to turn around and hire our offensive coordinator as well. I have somebody in mind. Where is he at? Could take Braden Williamson. He has a bunch of talents, but that's not... Okay, I can't pick him up right now. Okay. I guess we'll wait on our coordinators then. Okay, just for fun, we did decide to sign Cliff Kingsbury as our OC and Sean McDermott as our DC. They don't have any talents, but I don't care. Makes it more realistic. It makes it have a cooler, approach. With all of our staff points, we use them all towards the player personnel trees. So this is how it goes so that we can succeed more in free agency. Okay, so this is how the team is looking. At least the offense played fucking phenomenal. Larry Borom, I started. He went up 5. Justin Fields went up a couple, but he does have superstar now. Darnell Mooney got superstar in the middle of the season and now has superstar X Factor at an 84 overall. That's fucking dope. I wish Herbert would have star over these two. Or I would even take both of their stars away. I would take both of their stars away and Cody Whitehair's star away to give it to fucking let Newsom have it. Like, I really would. But we can't. Akeem Hicks apparently got superstar. How the fuck did you get superstar? I didn't look at you. Why the fuck did you get Superstar? And then does Roquan start with Superstar? Because if so, and he got Superstar, his Superstar taken away, I'm going to fight somebody. Okay, no, maybe he starts off at Star. Maybe he does? I don't know. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. But, so, Keem Hicks gets Superstar apparently. Thomas Graham went up 11 overall points because he got Star. And when you get Star in your rookie year, you get like 20,000 XP. So that was 6 upgrades right there. And he just continued to play well. So, yes, midseason I did go in. I did upgrade Thomas Graham, Mooney, Daz Newsome, and Cole Kmet midseason. As you see, some of the guys do still have upgrades left on them. Most of them are going to be guys that I do have to re-sign this year. So that is why I'm not putting upgrades on them. Because fuck them, I'm going to get them for cheaper. So. Okay, so some pretty interesting names do decide to retire. Calais Campbell, Josh Johnson, Mercedes Lewis, Tyson Alau. Yeah, whatever. Andrew Whitworth, Trent Williams, so 2 of the top left tackles in the league, retire the same year. Danny Amendola, Marcus Cannon, Dwayne Brown, another good left tackle. Al Woods, Richie Incognito, McCourty. The 2 McCourtys leave. Soldier finally leaves. Cook, Hughes, Peters, Sowell, and a bunch of others. Okay, so my plan is I am going to go after Akeem Hicks and both Robinson. But they're going to be on 1-year deals, and I'm probably going to be trading them away. James Daniels, I'll lock up for long term. Bilal Nichols might be in the same boat as Akeem Hicks. Taj Gibson and Damian Williams can both walk. I'm going to personally take Star off of Damian Williams. He just doesn't deserve it. Like, he's a 73 at 30 years old at this point. And in real life, he had a terrible year with the Bears. It just never seemed like he could find a fucking hole. I would like to bring a lot of these guys back. Don't get me wrong. If I could, I would bring back Horsted, Mustafa, Joel, Tez, Null, Elijah, Pat, Ogletree, Grant, Bird, Graham, and then the 4 guys I already talked about. But they're so much more expensive in the re-sign phase, and most of them don't get bids. Most of them probably won't get bids when they go into free agency, so just get them there for cheaper. Okay, so we ended up having to franchise tag Akeem Hicks. Robinson is going to walk. James Daniels, we re-signed for 7 years at $11 million a year. So you do the math. Bilal Nichols was 3 years at $10.5 million a year. No signing bonus on both those guys, so we won't have penalties if we do need to trade them away. Akeem Hicks, we will face an $11 million penalty for trading him away. But I think Bilal Nichols will probably be out as well. And Robinson, if we can get him back for cheap, we'll probably bring him in, and he'll probably actually stay, but I'm not going to overpay. So, Bilal Nichols to the Jags and 2 wide receivers for Andre Cisco, Ben Barch, and Kalavon Chason. Gets us another edge rusher, a good guard, because we will probably be moving Cody Whitehair to center, and Andre Cisco, good backup safety. Very interesting trade for me. We're trading Jeremiah Tachu. Anderson must have been on the practice squad. Didn't really look at the practice squad this year. A 3rd-round pick of next year for C.J. Henderson and Deontay Brown. So, trading a safety, a corner, and Nick Foles to the Saints for Zach Bond and Payne Turner. Gets me some edge rush. I think Robert Quinn's out of Chicago, to be honest. With this trade, we're trading a backup left end and a 5th for Dan Moore and Presley Harvin. Special teamers just aren't worth much, and Dan Moore was on the trade block, so figure, fuck it, get another offensive lineman in here. Trading Tariq Cohen for Tay Gowan and Gardner Minshew. Tay Gowan's one of my favorite corners out of this most previous draft, and Gardner Minshew will be a fine backup. Akeem Hicks for T. Higgins and Joseph Asai. This gets me another edge rusher, and T. Higgins, a big physical threat. I need one of those, so. Angelo Blackson, a 5 and a 7 for a rental of Greg Gaines. I think he'll be good for us, especially in our 3-4. Shipping off Robert Quinn. In real life, I appreciate Robert Quinn. He had a hell of a fucking season. He's third on Bears single season sacks. He's had a more impressive season than Khalil Mack ever did, and Khalil Mack, has been with us for 4 seasons now, and Robert Quinn didn't have anybody rushing across from him. He had Cassius Marsh. He had Bruce Irvin for a little bit. He had Travis Gibson, who I don't even think played all that much in the second half. So, but we do get Brevin Jordan. He might play fullback for us. I don't know yet. So, in free agency, we are going after a couple guys. I want Devondre Campbell. I think him and Roquan together could create a very good linebacking core and ultimately keep us in check for one of the best defenses for years to come. Robinson, I'm giving a pretty cheap contract to. Got to go after some D tackles. A lot of these guys, at least 2 of them, will probably get moved to the edge spots, and they'll fight for the starting jobs and stuff. Jordan Howard, bring him back to the Bears. Damiere Byrd. I personally like Damiere Byrd. If you've seen some of his catches, holy shit. Brett Urban, he was on the Bears last year, in 2020. Played very well. Bring him back. Alec Ogletree, same thing. I will probably be getting rid of Danny Trevathan, if anything, if I do get the linebackers that I want. Some young safeties, some okay tight ends, and other stuff. So let's see what we get. With this trade, we are trading a 5 and a 6 of this year and a 6 of next year for a 3 from the Cowboys. So I just want an extra 3. I want to make sure I get my guys. So we're only going to be able to take 3 picks this year. Taking my first guy here, Brian Whitfield out of Washington State. Free safety. So, hidden dev trait. Need a backup. Don't know how long Eddie Jackson's going to be around. KJ Crocker, tight end out of North Carolina. So yeah, I think I'm going to run Brevin Jordan at fullback. Then we'll have Jimmy Graham and Jesper Horsted as the 3 and the 4 tight end. So, Jaquelin Wall, slot corner out of Oklahoma State, 6 foot. Technically, if we're going off of real life people, we could technically name this. Who's the dude from Last Chance U, Laney College, the corner? Technically. Okay, so this draft class turned out very, very well. I did have 2 of them fully scouted. The safety I did not have fully scouted because I did not have a primary safety scout, so that's fine, whatever. He turned out better than I thought. Corner turned out worse than I thought. I honestly hoped the corner was 73, but whatever. He's playable. That's all that matters. So, yeah. I didn't record my free agency recap, so I'm just going to get that done now. I have already moved a couple people. I'm going to put that out there. Not in trades or anything like that. I try to have a rule that basically says, hey, don't fucking trade anybody that you just signed. It's kind of like a weird move, especially with my way of signing people, which is, offer low risk, high reward type of situations. So got Minshew in the trade. Howard's here. He has his college number on. We put T. Higgins in 5. Got Auden Tate. Got Damiere Byrd. I'm probably only going to rock with 5. We already moved Brevin Jordan to fullback. We got Jimmy Graham. Got Jesper. Got Prince because Sam Mustipher didn't sign. He actually got a contract. So got everybody else here still. Moved P.J. Hull over to left end. Moved B.J. Hill over to right end. We got Richardson and Urban as well. We'll figure out what we want to do with them. Got all these guys from trades, basically. Ogletree signed. Got all these guys from trades, basically. Just drafted him. And then got Sean Davis as well. So, and Cisco we traded for. So I will be changing their numbers, and then we'll get to, the season. With that being said, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, if you guys need any roster updates, I did just update my Madden 22 rosters. You will have to search for my name, GreenMachineSam, because something's weird with EA. My rosters have gotten deleted twice off the community page. I don't know if I'm violating a terms of service or something. I don't know, but so You'll have to look at my name. If you guys need a 2K roster update, look at my name. I haven't done anything for 2K22, but my 2K21 roster is live. I need to go update a little bit more, especially badges. So with that being said, guys, if you guys enjoy any of this content, I hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. I'd appreciate it if you would sub and stick around. I'm out. Peace.